want the best and brightest from around the world to come to Harvard.
I do, but a lot of the people need remedial math. Did you see that? Where these students can't add 2 and 2, and they go to Harvard. They want remedial math, and they're going to teach remedial math at Harvard. No, wait a minute. So why would they get in? How can somebody that can't add or has very basic skills, how do they get into Harvard? Why are they there? And then you see those same people picketing and screaming at the United States and screaming at, they're anti-Semitic or they're something. We don't want trouble.
Aboard Air Force One, he revealed that he took a cognitive test, which he aced, of course, much more so than any dumb lady Democrat could.
They have Jasmine Crockett, a low IQ person. AOC's low IQ. You give her an IQ test, have her pass, like, the exams that I decided to take.
Now, you know what? There's only one way to find out. Let's do it on...
So the internet kind of blew up again. And this time, it wasn't because of some viral cat or the Kardashians doing something weird. It was Jimmy Kimmel going head-to-head with Donald Trump. And honestly, the way Kimmel came out swinging with those razor-sharp jokes, you could practically feel the Secret Service flinch. The audience didn't even know what to do. Some people were laughing, some were just staring like, should we hide? And Trump, man, he hasn't stopped reacting since. The whole thing turned into this messy, chaotic entertainment moment that you can't help but grab popcorn for.
Like a month, the Republicans are trying to force Congress to choose between healthcare and food to open it up. Got a bunch of ghouls running the country. Prices are high. People are suffering. And just when you start to think, well, it couldn't get any worse than this, God throws a curveball like this one.
Tonight, the urgent search for dangerous research monkeys that escaped from the wreckage of a crash on a Mississippi highway.
We got 21 monkeys that was on this, got 5 of them on the run.
Here's one of the monkeys right here. There's one sitting right there.
There are some nights on TV that just pass by, and then there are nights where Jimmy Kimmel turned a simple monologue into something people will talk about for years. The moment he locked onto Donald Trump with that brutally precise comedy, the whole vibe of late night shifted. No countdown, no warm-up, no easing into it. He just launched straight into legendary mode, like he'd been waiting his whole career for that exact moment.
Hello to those of you who are watching from the White House, and you know who you are. I woke up this morning, I'm in bed, my wife comes out of the bathroom, she's got her phone, she goes, Trump tweeted you should be fired again. I was like, oh. And then I went downstairs and made bagels for the kids.
The buildup around Trump and his IQ stories has been going on forever. He talks about acing that test like he's some superhero collecting trophies for saving the world. If there were actual Olympics for bragging, Trump would literally be the logo. And, of course, Kimmel noticed. Everyone noticed, no matter what the topic was. Climate, fast food, golf, space. Trump somehow found a way to circle right back to that same story.
Our show over the past 2 nights, I've been working on teeing up a major event. I think it could be bigger than the Super Bowl and Jake Paul fighting Dick Van Dyke combined. It could be very big. And all the credit goes to our Commander-in-Chief, Donald Trump, who strongly believes he would trounce 2 of his least favorite ladies in an IQ test.
Kimmel described Trump's IQ bragging like the man had made some groundbreaking scientific discovery. The way Trump talks about his intellectual greatness, you'd think he'd decoded the secrets of the universe, not just took a test. And Kimmel leaned into that perfectly, joking that Trump probably has a score printed on shirts, mugs, maybe even framed over every mirror in his house.
Late last night, the Angry Orange posted, why does ABC Fake News keep Jimmy Kimmel, a man with no talent and very poor television ratings, on the air? Why do the TV syndicates put up with it? Also, totally biased coverage. Get the bum off the air. I'm the bum. And he posted this, I think this is interesting, at 12:49 a.m., 11 minutes after the show ended on the East Coast, which is nice. He watches us live. Hi, Mr. President.
The repetition became its own joke. Trump brings up that IQ moment so often, it's basically a TikTok sound stuck on an endless loop. Kimmel made it sound like Trump wakes up every morning, looks at himself in the mirror, and whispers, "I aced that test." before brushing his teeth. It wasn't even insulting. The funny part was just how dramatically Trump retells the same story every single time, like the world would collapse without hearing it again.
Let AOC go against Trump. Let Jasmine go against Trump.
I agree. It sounds like a challenge, right? Now, as I've mentioned, not only do I want to see this contest happen, I want to make it happen. I believe this would be a once-in-a-lifetime television event. I want to give our brilliant, bigly-brained president a chance to teach those left-wing lightweights a thing or two about brain power live on national television. I'm calling it the James C. Kimmel Cognitive Aptitude and Mental Brilliance.
And once Kimmel wrapped up the IQ chapter, he moved on to Trump's never-ending self-promotion. If Trump ever had a modest moment, no one alive remembers it. Kimmel broke it down like an artist recreating museum exhibits. Every claim, every victory lap, every moment of self-celebration was turned into a big, dramatic visual. In Kimmel's hands, Trump became this unstoppable hype machine, who treats even the smallest detail like world-changing history.
Aware of the fact that the president, for whatever reason, has challenged you to a duel of the medulla, yes?
I am very well aware. I know that he can't seem to find himself in the Oval Office to make sure that he can end this shutdown, but he does have time to troll me. So listen, if he's down, I'm down.
Do you notice any kind of a pattern when it comes to people he frequently refers to as low IQ people?
They tend to be women, and they tend to be women of color.
Yes, so you are smart. Okay.
Then Kimmel hit the speeches. He didn't mock Trump's voice or anything petty. He dramatized the whole performance like it belonged in a superhero movie trailer. Every pause, every gesture, every breath was exaggerated into some epic watch the clouds part moment. And then he slid into Trump's old feuds with TV hosts and comedians, showing how Trump treats every joke like a political earthquake. It wasn't mean, it was just painfully accurate.
Watching us on TV instead of on YouTube, we appreciate that, and I'll tell you, it's viewers like you who keep us on the air, ironically. It's also sweet that even in the middle of the biggest sex scandal in the history of the American presidency, he takes precious time on the toilet to post about our show. Keep saying we have bad ratings, and you should listen to him, because if anyone knows about bad ratings, it's that guy.
President Trump's approval rating is tanking.
Plunging to a new low.
A new low, even among...
The difference between Trump's seriousness and Kimmel's sarcasm could power a whole comedy festival. And Kimmel didn't stop there. He brought Trump's old social media style into the mix. Everyone remembers how dramatic those posts were. Like each one was the most important message in human history. Kimmel reenacted them like ancient scrolls written by some warrior king. And when he got to rallies, he painted them like rock concerts mixed with wrestling events. Hats flying, chants booming, Trump acting like the star, the promoter, and the fireworks guy all at once.
He jumped in and voted yes by unanimous consent, which means the bill now goes to the White House, which means Trump's going to have to sign it. The goal was to have the bill passed by such a large margin that Trump can't put his little orange thumb on the scale and give it the old Cheeto veto. But make no mistake, this isn't over. He's not giving up easy. If anyone thinks he's going to release all the Epstein files, I've got a beautiful East Wing of the White House.
Then came Trump's Grudges, which, honestly, could fill a museum of their own. According to Kimmel, Trump holds on to rivalries like collectible items. It wasn't mean. It was observational comedy at its finest. Everyone knows Trump never lets a joke go unanswered. And by the time Kimmel finished explaining how Trump sees himself as the undefeated hero of every story, you could almost imagine a whole movie franchise based on his life, complete with slow-motion scenes and dramatic music.
Lowest level of his second term.
That is the lowest it's been in his second term.
It is at a low of the second term.
The lowest of his second term.
La aprobación del presidente Donald Trump se desploma a los niveles más bajos.
Más bajos? What does that mean, Guillermo?
Its rating is very low.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Yes. I have honestly lost count now of how many times the president has demanded I be pulled off the air. I mean, talk about a snowflake, this guy. Every 5 weeks, he flips out and wants me fired. If you got this many threats from a neighbor, you'd have no problem getting a restraining order. The judge would be like, yeah, it sounds like the guy's nuts.
Kimmel dove into Trump's reaction to criticism, and it was spot on. Praise means truth. Criticism means conspiracy. Trump can take the tiniest inconvenience and turn it into a dramatic saga, and Kimmel amplified that perfectly. He also pointed out the funny clash between Trump wanting constant attention and how Kimmel can't resist turning that obsession into comedy. It wasn't about hating Trump, it was about showing how wild the overlap between politics and entertainment has become.
Almost unanimous vote by Congress, Trump's cronies in the Department of Justice still have the power to withhold information to protect ongoing investigations, to protect innocent people, or for reasons of national security. The DOJ can withhold entire documents, photos, and/or video. But they would never do anything like that, would they? They're sworn to protect the Constitution of the United States. Something's fishy. Trump rolled over faster than that.
The ending was honestly brilliant. Kimmel took Trump's lifelong obsession with publicity and turned it into pure comedy energy. If attention were electricity, Trump could power entire cities. If applause were vitamins, the guy would never age. Kimmel wrapped the whole thing up by showing that every version of Trump, businessman, politician, commentator, runs on spotlight fuel. And the craziest part? The rivalry between these two has become one of the most entertaining resources TV has ever had.
Trump welcomed an evil prince to the White House. He welcomed the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, who also happens to be doing business with Don Jr. and Eric.
Is it appropriate, Mr. President, for your family to be doing business in Saudi Arabia while you're president? Is that a conflict of interest?
This is a guy who gave a green light to the brutal murder of Jamal Khashoggi, a columnist for the Washington Post. He was dismembered at the Saudi consulate in Istanbul.
He knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that.
The Crown Prince did address the murder. He said, "We've improved our system to be sure that nothing happened like that. It's a huge mistake, and we're doing our best that this doesn't happen again." This is not what you say about a murder. They're doing their best to make...
And that's how one late-night monologue turned into a full-blown milestone. Not because Kimmel attacked Trump, but because he showed just how absurd and theatrical the Trump era has been. Just when you think Kimmel has topped himself, he finds a fresh angle. This time, it was Trump's self-branding. According to Kimmel, Trump doesn't just do things, he announces them like movie trailers. Breakfast becomes historic. Golf becomes leadership training. Walking downstairs becomes a victory over gravity. People weren't laughing at Trump the person, they were laughing at how dramatically he frames his own life.
Rolled over faster than that dog Ghislaine Maxwell gets to play with in her country club prison. That's the other thing that's not getting enough attention. Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's wing woman, she had that meeting with Trump's deputy attorney general and former personal lawyer over the summer, and then coincidentally got moved right out of regular prison and into the kind of prison Felicity Huffman was in.
Then Kimmel moved into Trump's merch empire, treating it like a museum filled with hats, shirts, mugs, flags, everything sold like it's part of some epic franchise. He joked that if Trump could trademark oxygen, he probably would. And just when it peaked, he shifted into Trump's life-changing water, hyping it like the greatest liquid ever made. Finally, he circled back to the rivalry theme. Trump treats every moment like the Super Bowl, every microphone like destiny, and Kimmel refuses to let any of that go unroasted. The audience basically watched a comedy saga that writes itself every time Trump speaks.